Hi everyone! This video is part of the Conversations with Kristine series, which you can find in my playlists. It's in response to Willy from Willy's Worms, who replied to my first video in this series. If we make very many of these video conversations, you're going to find how much I enjoy Willy. I'll include a link to him in the description, and I encourage you to subscribe to him because he is awesome. Willy has a fascinating mind and is chock full of really interesting information, and he presents it in really fun ways. He is quirky and wild and energetic and fun and I could go on and on because I really enjoy his work. Anyway, in his video, he broke down the way we can extricate ourselves from time and recognize the infinite. What he had to say was great. It was so systematic and logical, and I definitely hope you go listen. In the midst of his video, he made one comment that I latched onto, so I want to discuss that here. He said, "We have no way of knowing when life began or when or if it will end." Just the other day, I was having a conversation with my friend Wanda about when life in the physical form begins. So when I heard Willy's statement, I knew what video topic was coming up next. Now, before I share this, let me say what Willy talked about as life was life with the capital L, our true self, the conscious awareness that we are outside of time. But Wanda and I were talking about beliefs and physical life. And I want to share with you what I shared with her. In 2002, after years of praying for a new name to call myself other than Christian, I found myself in dawning, that wonderful time when I was just waking but not fully awake, with a word scrolling across my mind's eye. That word was echolutorial. I was excited. I immediately knew it was the new name that I had been seeking. I hurried from my bed to the dictionary. I looked in one, and then another, and yet another. We homeschooled, so we had quite a few. Echolutorial wasn't in any of them. I was a little annoyed, but not daunted. I got online. This was back in the old dial-up days, so it took a bit to get online. And looked it up, and when I didn't find it there, I got mad. Really mad. I said, "God, how dare you give me a made-up word?" Know what he said? He said, "Who do you think made all words?" Touché, God, touché. So I looked up the parts. It means the study of the environment of light. Well, we all know that Christianity is all about light. Jesus was said to be the light of the world, and he told his followers they were the lights like a city on the hillside. After that, I began being taught about light. And one of the first lessons I got was how light enters us at the moment of conception. For the egg and sperm to fuse, for anything to fuse, there has to be a spark. And that spark is what we call the spark of life. Now understand that at that time, the only thing I had to go on that any of this was true was faith. But scientists have since proven it, and there are videos out there of it. I'll link to one of those in the description. Science took more than a decade after I was shown this to be able to prove it. A lot of teaching about how light plays a role in who we are followed that, but I'm going to save that for another day. The point I want to get to today is about our calling this physical form life. Willy spoke well when he said that we don't know when life began or when or if it will end. This thing I called the spark of life could better be described as the spark of existence. Existence, as Rupert Spira pointed out, literally means to stand apart. And since that is our perspective from a human body point of view, we see ourselves as one thing and everything else as something else. We are quite literally beginning our journey to the sense of standing apart from the whole. I think that the discussion about non-duality and the ways we're able to understand it in our everyday life that is full of things and experiences is important and beneficial. By our discussion, we can break down all the socialized ways that we've been conditioned to think, those things that fool us into continuing to see ourselves as set apart. Willy talked about one way with time. Rupert points out the differentiation between life and existence, which circles back to Willy's video, and I've talked briefly about our sensations. So please join the conversation and tell us something that you do to remember we are all one. And like I said in the first video, if you make a video response, please tag me in your comments and come here to post a link to your video in my comments. Until next time, my friends, may you be inspired, having fun, and feeling the bright call of true life. See you soon.